play at the same exact time earlier today. I think they were about 12 o'clock starts in their semifinal game. So it was basically less than an hour between the final of their semifinals and the start of this championship game. So fatigue a little bit of a factor for both teams as Bolter continues his hot shooting here this afternoon, dominating. 3 more for him and the lead up to 20.
Yeah, he's stretching it. He's got it going on the inside, and then he flashes the range on that jumper.
Chasing the athletic acrobatic move that time on the baseline. Would not drop for him, but did earn a trip to the line after the foul on Mass Premier.
And Chasen, the captain of this team, and you can see right there, sensing his team, hey, now we're down 20. We need a bucket. We got to make something happen. You know, I'm not going to be irresponsible, but I'm going to try to take this into my own hands and force the action, get myself to the goal.
And we have seen him at various points in this game try to take over. You know, he'll get that head of steam going and take it right to the hoop. That time, perhaps another instance of that. Trying to get his team going on the offensive end. Unfortunately, missing that first free throw. Second one will go, though. Makes it a 19-point game. Nigro will settle things down now for Mass Premier. Tries to get his men in motion here, picked up by Gibson. Here's Geis on the outside. And I'm going to say a little bit of contact as it could have been travel on Geis, but
didn't see much. Didn't see much more than incidental contact there, but Geis with the benefit of the call. He out of bounds underneath.
Yeah, I think the Bulls calling for a travel, but the official saying, well, he traveled because he was bumped. So not going to win that argument with the official once he's made the call. Nigro will have inbounding duties here for Mass Premier. Quickly outside for Bolter, who's had the hot hand. Geis now wheels it around. Oftering for 3, count it. Frank Oftering, the 6'3" guy out of Bishop Fien, pushes the lead up to 22.
Pure stroke, ready to catch and shoot. Was balanced, rose up, drilled it.
Here's Gibson trying to weave his way in and forced to the corner of death. Chasing a nice slash, but again, just a little off the mark as it rolled off the bucket that time. Unable to drop for Chasen. Oftering again for 3. No good. Kept alive by Bolter, but they get a mystery foul on him that time. He's not sure what's the call, as he seemed to just be swooping in there for the loose ball.
Yeah, he was gliding in. It looks like he might have called it pushing the back on him, but who knows?
Yeah, when you're up by 22, you could deal with those kind of fouls. I think the Mass Premier coach, Michael Vaughn, there asking for a slight explanation of what might have been called, but doesn't seem to be too frustrated. Here is Jesse Mullen, the other captain of this Bulls team, tries to work his way in. Simons now for Gibson. Thought about 3, now goes for the 3, and so tough once you get yourself out of rhythm.
Yeah, it is, and that was an extremely tough 2. You know, Gibson does a lot of things for this team. Great all-around player. We see the deflection right there on that last offensive possession. Probably once he was swallowed up and closed out on, should have just eaten the ball, gotten it off to a teammate. But hey, you know, it's all about growth in this game.
Bolter again, that time from the wing, able to connect.
Yeah, and we're seeing some 3-way scoring from Bolter. Inside, outside, and there's a mid-range.
Certainly showing all his talents here so far this afternoon as Simons tries to back down on Geis. Chasen skying for the rebound attempt, won't get it. Bolter now the other way for Nigro. Tough shot, no good. Gibson the rebound. He'll push it ahead now for the Bulls. Gibson. A little helter-skelter there as he got a little bit out of control.
Yeah. Simon's a little frustrated with himself for missing that layup, but made a very nice, strong move. He was patient, used his body to seal the defensive player on the previous trip down, just didn't have the angle to the glass, but he'll get other opportunities. Big fella's just got to keep on playing, play through it.
Gibson now, set up shop, trying to find Cronin on the inside. Cronin leads it off the glass, able to get the position that time on Oftering. And forcing the defense that time was Gibson, but able to break out of it was Mass Premier. Here's Bolter again for 3, why not?
Yeah.
Like putting the ball in the ocean today for Bolter.
Bolter is what we call feeling it, folks. He has really got it going on offensively.
Ball would have the little fire mark if this was NBA Jam for Bolter today, as he has been able to put it in from all over the court. Another miss now for the Bulls, and Nigro pushes it ahead for Bolter. Bolter launches another 3. That one won't go this time.
Heat check.
I think you'll live with that.
Yeah.
With the large
I think
lead
the
here.
heat's still pretty high.
Wild shot forced up that time from Jesse Mullen, who was barreling through the side of the lane. Earns himself a trip to the line, but his team down by 25 with 12:28 remaining here in the second half.
Yeah, Jesse Mullen, another one of the captains on this team, Mike, put the shoulder down, went hard to the bucket. Couple from the charity stripe here coming up.
And you could almost just see the fatigue on some of these Bulls players.
No doubt about it.
You know, they've kind of got their hands on their hips at times, and tugging on those shorts and jerseys, just kind of trying to stay up. And again, you know, credit Mass Premier, able to use their bench effectively here in this championship game and really keep fresh legs out there.
And it becomes cyclical because if you can't rebound, you can't control tempo. So if you're only getting one shot on the offensive end to the Mass Bulls, then you're just continuing to perpetuate more runouts and pushing of the basketball, which obviously just continues wearing you down. It's a tough thing to break, tough cycle to break.
Prunier through the lane, gets hacked on the way in. Looked like Mallow might have got a piece of him that time. Coming up a little bit gimpy there is Jesse Mullen. 6-foot player out of Granby High School is going to come over, get a little swig of Gatorade there, get a little rest on these free throws from Prunier. Prunier hits the first. And delivers on the second as well. 46-19 now, as this one has become a little bit more of a runaway for Mass Premier, as their depth has really aided them here. Chasen going down hard and awkwardly. Seemed to lose his footing there.
Yeah, fortunately he's okay. He did a great job right there getting his shoulders low, which enabled him to slip by his defender, but then the wheels just came out from under him.
It's called for the travel after sliding past his defender. As the official and Prunier try to work out that little wet spot on the floor. Bolter will inbound it for Mass Premier. Prunier overhead for Bolter, puts up the three again. That one slightly too strong. Mallow with the rebound. Mallow hot puts it across center court. Tries to take it all the way in, finds Cronin. It was sealed off and had to back it out. Mullen trying to clear some space on his right side. Now goes left and is bumped on the way in by Ryan Lehman. Non-shooting. Mallow. A little handoff for Chasen. Inside it went for Cronin, and another touch foul on the inside.
And that's one of those, you know, we talk about spacing all the time in basketball, Mike, and that's one of those instances that we just saw. Mallow dribbling the ball towards his teammate. You know, you're trying to run a motion type offense. You never want to dribble and pass in the same direction. Dribbling it right towards his teammate and then effectively bringing help over to bottle up a teammate. You know, you continue to develop as a player. You learn those subtleties of the game like spacing that ultimately are so important.
And again, at this point in the game, too, you know, you're down by 26. Still a reasonable amount of time left, but it definitely presents plenty of learning opportunities here for both squads to close this one out, as Simon's able to get to that loose ball after the missed free throw. Quickly pushed ahead again, Bolter, and now Prunier. Bolter again, wide open for three, and he kills them again from downtown. Bulls having a tough time closing out on Bolter on the perimeter, and he continues to light them up.
And again, my credit that just the hot potato nature of the ball movement for Mass Premier. The ball movement's been exceptional all afternoon. Bolter found himself. He was deep, but he was once again wide open, clean look.
Another turnover on the Bulls. Prunier races it ahead. Pulls up from the jumper from the free throw line, no good. Mallow back the other way. Possible 2-on-1 break if they hurry. Mallow keeps it himself. Left-hander up and in. Gets it to go with the left hand, does Nicholas Mallow.
Nice job by Nicholas Mallow. Knew where he wanted to go and was able to dart almost towards the middle of the floor momentarily and then get back to that left side for the finish down the left-hand alley.
Mallow trying to bring some energy for this Bulls team as Bolter misses from the outside. Cronin now will push it ahead. Simons outside for Mullen, and now Chasen. Jumper, good.
Hard pound into the ground by Chasen. You could tell he shot that ball very confidently, came off his hand, pure.
Legs looking a little bit stronger that time for Brandon Chasen. On the inside, looked to be some contact, but not going to get the call for Eric Ryan. Mullen now pushing the pace, baseline, gets his shot rejected, still in. Simon's bid doesn't go, and we're going to have a technical foul on Mullen, and he's just been ejected. Mullen was warned, and hear it one more time, the official sending him out of the game. His day is done, so the bench now down to just one player.
Must have said the magic words.
Maybe a couple of magic words that time as coach trying to have a couple words with the official there on the near side. Yeah. Wasn't the one that called the technicals, but
yeah, and irrespective of what was said, the official made his call, and the official made the right call afterwards. You're taught as an official that once you make the call, if it's a technical, you don't re-engage the coach. You walk away.
And he warned the kid. He said one more time and you're gone, and the kid kept jawing away. And
he did. So
Mullen's day is done.
Unfortunately, his day is done.
Bolter with the casual free throws. And now Mass Premier has the Bulls doubled up in the second half. Never a spot you want to be in. Again, the Bulls down to just one bench player. Currently occupying that spot right now is Tanner Gibson. And Mass Premier continues to roll out their lines here today. Nigro picked up by McCall, now Bolter. From the elbow, getting it to drop in was Frank Oftring.
And good recognition by Mass Premier. The Bulls went back, well, we've seen them, actually, they've been in zone a few possessions now, but continue with that zone, but got way too far extended. Nice little crack of it right around the foul line area, leading to the open jump shot and knockdown.
Simons trying to back his way in, leaves it for Mallow. 3-ball, that one no good. Connor Cronin, nice hustle for the rebound. Simons again, backs up, puts it up, won't go. Nigro there for the board. Nigro very active on both ends of the floor for this Mass Premier team. Able to receive that pass from Prunier. They had Geis underneath the hoop. Now they find Bolter. Bolter launches another three. Rattles in and out. Geis fighting for the rebound, and nice aggressive rebound attempt for Chasen that time. And even able to draw the foul on Geis.
Good board by Chasen, and Connor Cronin, Mike, you mentioned it a moment ago, really hustling. Was able to, Bolter's obviously having himself quite an afternoon. Cronin was getting run ragged, but did whatever he could to get a high hand up and close out, making that look so that it wasn't completely clean for Bolter. Back rimmed it. Chasen gets the rebound. Credit Cronin, really working hard on the defensive end. And that's, again, we talk about character. You're down 54 to 26. You're still grinding at it. That's great to see.
Both Cronin and Mallow certainly tried to bring some energy here in the second half for the Bulls. They both started the game on the bench for head coach Ken Chasen, and certainly brought a little bit of energy here in the second half to a team that really needs it. As Brandon Chasen able to hit on the free throw, takes us to a break in the action. As we'll take a break as well with Mass Premier out on top 54-28 here in the 11th grade championship game on COX Sports. And welcome back to the Mass Premier courts here in Foxboro, Massachusetts. Timeout on the floor with 8:52 remaining in the second half. Mike Mancuso alongside Chris Sassano, and things have pretty much gone from bad to worse here for the Mass Bulls in the second half. They trailed big at the break. They trailed big early, and now they trail big late. And they are down a man as Jesse Mullen has been ejected from the game after picking up 2 technical fouls.
Yeah, it has snowballed, and Mass Premiers just continue to do what really they've done the entire game long, which is, for the most part, take care of the basketball and then ride the hot hand of Bolter, who's been exceptional shooting the basketball all afternoon.
That time it was Frank Oftring able to do some damage on the inside. Cronin back the other way. Tightrope on the baseline. Kicks it out for Chasen. Chasen working against Bolter. And that one won't go. As Bolter able to alter it just enough.
And by the way, by highlighting Boulder, I don't want to denigrate what the rest of the team has done because they are an extremely unselfish basketball team. They've moved the ball terrific all afternoon, and every one of these players is capable offensively. Again, they're riding the hot hand of Boulder, but that's all because of the well-oiled machine that we've seen throughout most of this game.
Bolter that time a little bit off target with his pass, looking for Stephen Gagne in the corner. It'll go down as a turnover on Bolter. Call now. A little pass for Chasen, and now Mallow. Back up top for Chasen. Trying to feed Cronin inside, and that's a very tough pass to complete. Oftering in pretty good spot to
just
pick it off.
Not there. Oftering was fronting, but beside that, there was plenty of help down there, even if the connection was made. Difficult pass. Fortunate to still have the basketball.
Chasen with the left hand and finally gets the shooter's roll that time.
Good for Chasen. He's been in and around and had a lot of those rim out for him. Nice to see one fall.
Nigro will bring it up the floor slowly and methodically. Now leaves it for Gagne. Around it goes for Geis. Nigro now has a seam, decides to pull up. Leaves it outside. Oftering for three. Count that one as well. Frank Oftering getting involved from the perimeter.
Set up from Nigro. Oftering knew just what to do with it.
And it seemed to be another perfect example, Chris, as you mentioned, their unselfish play on the offensive end. Finding the open guys, making that extra pass when needed.
Yeah, this is clearly a team. This isn't just a collection of players or individual talents. This is clearly a team, and they played in synergy this afternoon.
Yeah, you can certainly see why they've advanced to this championship game for the 11th grade title. Chasen, that hard dribble again, and I think they're going to say the foul was before, so no continuation for Chasen. Basket won't go. He will head to the line, though, for a one-and-one opportunity. 7:07 remaining, and still the big lead for Mass Premier. Bulls, though, still trying to find a way to dig deep, get themselves back in this one. And again, maybe not for the final outcome of this game, Chris, but plenty of people on hand to watch the character of these guys and how they do play, how they close out games in tough situations. And, you know, a lot of coaches look for those kind of character traits when recruiting guys at this level.
No doubt about it. That's why they're here. A lot of the tangible things you can pick up in the box score, but there's so many intangibles, Mike, that, as you point out, are extremely important in terms of, you know, what makes a well-rounded player.
And on the other end for Mass Premier, how do these guys handle playing with the big lead? Do they keep their focus? Do they start making silly turnovers? You know, lots of important things for them to work on as well, even though it is a little bit of a blowout here as Bolter able to connect again, as he has been nearly unstoppable.
Teammates in sync. Nice little cut by Bolter, making himself available. Hands up high, receives the pass, dumps it in.
Gibson, the kick out for McCall. Three ball is good. And McCall with the smooth stroke that time, able to hit from downtown. Bolter able to receive the pass near center court. Now works it for Oftering. On the inside, Nigro, strong move up and in. And it's a little bit too slow in getting back that time was Devontae McCall. And we've harped on it quite a bit, but the fatigue definitely a factor for the Bulls.
Yes, and another heady play by Nigro, sensing when he caught that ball where the defender was coming from, positioning himself so that his body was shielding the ball and helping him to finish.
And there on the offensive end, Gibson trying to work his way on the inside. Was able to draw contact. Chance for some more points with the clock stopped. Unfortunately misses on his first of two. Mallow returns to the lineup, replacing Chasen. Mullen out of the game after picking up the two technicals. Mass Premier also going deeper on their bench as well. So two misses at the line for Gibson and a rebound for Gagne. Oftering, who's also had a solid game. And there's Gibson with the pickoff on the entry pass. So Prunier, but wow, Prunier getting back defensively. Great hustle play by him after he had the turnover. Prunier now. Nifty little pass as he got himself in trouble, nearly hung up in the air, but was able to deliver it to Frank Oftering. who finished with ease.
Two-way play by Prunier. Nice defensive play, and then a pretty find of a teammate for an easy bucket.
McCall marks it against Gagne. I was trying to find Cronin, but anticipation there by Frank Oftring. He read it all the way as they work it up quickly for Sealy. And now Gagne back over for Oftring. Bolter, Prunier. And around it goes. Here's Gagne for three, no good. And Simon's there to collect the rebound. Mallow. Hot puts it across center court. Now trying to call out for a screen from Simons. Tries to bowl his way in. And Prunier's going to get called for the foul as Mallow had lowered the shoulder. Free throws coming up now for Nicholas Mallow, the 5'11" player out of Hampshire Regional High School. Banks that one in. Couple of subs now checking back in for Mass Premier. Dylan Reno and Eric Ryan replace Bolter and Oftring. You got to imagine their day might be done with just under 5 minutes left here in the second half and a seemingly insurmountable 29-point lead.
Tend to agree with you there, partner.
On the near side, Eric Ryan. Prunier trying to set up, able to find Reno. Perimeter ball movement here out of Mass Premier. Prunier takes a gut shot from Mallow. Good sportsmanship by Mallow, acknowledging that, yeah, that was a hard foul. Sorry about it, buddy. But Prunier will head to the line.
And once again, just the crispness offensively. It doesn't matter which players shuffle in for this Mass Premier team. They're all unselfish. They all look for one another. And they're all primarily interested with getting a teammate the most open shot available. Right there, it was Prunier, took a shot, goes to the line, makes the first of two.
So Chasen returns for the Bulls, giving Mallow a rest. Prunier can't connect on the second free throw, and back the other way now comes McCall. Jacks up the three, doesn't go. Gagne there with the rebound. Prunier ahead. Prunier, the quick outlet pass. A little bit too much behind that one as he was trying to connect with Dylan Reno on the near side.
Good
Turnover.
idea, inaccurate execution.
And ahead now for Gibson. Just over 4 minutes remaining in half number 2. Simons, shot rejected that time. I think getting a piece of it is Cameron Sealy. And you could just see the look on Simons' face. Just really a little bit tired out there, and the legs just weren't with him on that shot.
Just worn down. Few minutes to play, though. Again, like you said, this is the time where you need to continue to play hard, even when it hasn't gone your way.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he will.
Gut check time for sure. Character building moments. Gibson now. I'll bring it up ahead. And again, one of the rules in this AAU tournament, you're not allowed to press with your defense when you are up by 25 points or more.
Very
so that's
true.
why we've seen kind of Mass Premier sag back a little bit more defensively.
Sportsmanship
in case some of you
favored.
wondering why they've called off the Dogs. I think it's just a matter of the rules here for this tournament. Prunier. No restrictions, though, on the offensive game.
Absolutely not.
Because if you're the Bulls, you got to stop them.
You know, and when you go through the type of rapid fire back-to-back type games that these teams have, sometimes there is a tendency to be worn down and for the score to be a bit lopsided. So, you know, it's a good rule, I think, to have in place. You want to promote sportsmanship.
Here's Gibson now, trying to finish on the break, and he does. Able to get out in front that time after forcing the turnover, but again, quickly pushed ahead by Mass Premier. Trying to find Reno now all the way outside Gagne.
You know, Mass Bulls have run into a buzzsaw here this afternoon, but still, as we know, shouldn't diminish what they've done in terms of getting all the way to this championship through the gauntlet and here.
Nice rejection that time by McCall. Here's Cronin trying to bull his way in, able to lay it in off the glass for two.
Good patience by Cronin, using the window.
Some good character out of him in the second half, despite the lopsided game. Certainly has
playing hard, communicating.
continued to work. Prunier for three, no good. And Gibson, a little tightrope on the baseline, just caught a heel on the line that time. Tough break for Tanner Gibson after hauling in that rebound.
Might have turned a blind eye to that one.
Especially with under 2 minutes to go. But certainly did seem close enough, I guess, to make the call as Prunier will back it out for Gagne. He's trying to set up the three. Sealy, skip pass. Back up top now for Gagne, and across it comes for Lehman. Lehman trying to find a little seam on the baseline, and could have been a lot of things there. Possible travel, possible hack by Mallow, but that time they let it go. It'll stay with Mass Premier. So they lead this one by 28. They work it in, and out to the outside for Sealy. Prunier.
Tough call.
They're going to get a foul on Gibson.
Yeah, tough call. Gibson looked to me like he may have got that clean. But again, whenever your arm's going to come at something with a downward angle, chances are you're going to get whistled.
Fortunately for the Bulls, not a free throw situation for Mass Premier. 1:20 remains here in the second half. Prunier back outside. Gagne, and now for Prunier again. Poked away by Gibson. And another foul. Almost identical play as before as he tried to swipe at it with that free hand. This time, though, it will be a 1-on-1 situation for Timothy Prunier. 6-foot player out of Franklin High School.
And it does get frustrating from a defensive perspective, just being moved around the way that the Mass Bulls have, as we've talked about. They're already an extremely thin team, then they lose a player at about the 5-minute mark or so. So essentially 6 guys. It's been a tough afternoon, and then you're dealing with 8 to 10 passes every time on the offensive end from Mass Premier, just moving you all around the court. The tendency then is to obviously not move your feet and reach.
All in fresh legs at almost every couple of minutes as well for Mass Premier, as they were able to fully utilize their entire bench throughout this contest. Prunier holds up now as they deliver it for Lehman. His long-range shot no good, and kept alive though nicely that time is Eric Ryan. Nice hustle play to get that rebound. Under a minute to play. And Mass Premier will claim the 2014 New England AAU Super Regional 11th grade title.
With a most impressive performance here. Just precision would be the word that I would use to describe how they've played this afternoon. They've had precision on both sides of the ball. Offensively, just extremely clean and crisp. Good quality looks.
Well executed throughout.
Absolutely.
On both ends of the floor.
Absolutely.
A very impressive showing here by Mass Premier this afternoon.
Active defensively, forcing turnovers, hitting the boards, pushing in transition. A championship effort, and that's exactly what they're going to claim.
And classy in victory as well, just simply running out the clock here, not taking any final shots as they will take this one. Well, there we go. I thought I'd heard a whistle calling a timeout, but that will do it. Mass Premier takes down the Mass Bulls 72-40. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll wrap things up here from the Mass Premier courts in Foxboro. You're watching on COX Sports. And welcome back to the Mass Premier courts here in Foxboro, Massachusetts. Mike Mancuso alongside Chris Stessano, where we just saw Mass Premier take home the 11th grade New England AAU Super Regional Championship, defeating the Mass Bulls 72-40. As we take a look at some of the highlights here from the second half, and it really was the Bolter show.
Yeah, Ryan Bolter had it going early, and he kept it going throughout. We've seen him make floaters here this afternoon. Then he puts his range on display. Long range capability. We saw him off the catch and shoot, off the dribble. His teammates doing a nice job of finding him, understanding he had the hot hand, and other players getting into the action as well.
Frank Oftring that time hitting from downtown. Continue the hot shooting from the outside as Bolter got involved again and again and again. Deadly from the perimeter. Yeah,
and that's just devastating right there. Bolter, knowing that he's feeling it, once again straight away, twice as nice.
Yeah, just too much space for Bolter throughout that second half as the physique set in, but did see some creative shots out of the Bulls. That time it was Nicholas Mallow, the little spin move, and then
Mallow
Chasen with the pull-up.
Yeah, Mallow gave really quality effort, particularly in the second half of the game. Chasing, once again, little cut right there. Perfect distribution of the basketball to Bolter, who lays it off the window and in.
So that will do it from the Mass Premier courts. Mass Premier taking down the Mass Bulls 72-40, and really some outstanding play